Hello everybody, I'm Tyler, that's Owen. We're here to tell you everything that you nerd to know. Starting with one of the biggest news stories right now, Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. And here, with his compelling review, is Owen. Owen, what did you think of the movie?
I'm wearing it as a symbol of pride. I will soon be inducted into S.H.I.E.L.D. myself, along with you. That was an amazing movie. We were talking about it after we all saw it together, married. We thought it was arguably, I'd say maybe as good as the Avengers. What do you think?
I think it was better than the Avengers.
Better.
It had all the great action that the Avengers had, with an actual story.
A better story than the Avengers.
Such better story.
Some would say a better story.
It is probably one of the best movies Marvel's put out.
I agree, so let's just dive right into it. Alright, let's start off with, it picks up after the Avengers, the second one, the second of two sequels, the second sequel to the Avengers. Second sequel? The first one, I mean, was Thor 2, and then now we have Cap 2.
Exactly. Picking right off. Both of them picked right off right after.
Yes, you saw Thor 2.
I did see Thor 2.
As did I, and what did you think about that? Quickly.
Thor 2 was pretty good. It was better than the first Thor.
Agreed.
It wasn't the best ever.
Agreed again.
But it was good. It's doing what it's need to do. I mean, this is the first time movies on this scale have been put into one interwoven storyline, which is cool. So I like that. But yeah, this is one of the best ones so far.
I agree. I completely agree. I thought Thor 2 was okay. I thought it was 10 times better than the first one, but something was missing. Hello? Hey. Keeping it professional.
Well, now that that's over, we can return to our discussion about the movie. Now, another great thing about this movie was that it didn't always feel like a superhero movie.
No, it did not.
It felt a lot like it was an action flick.
Yeah, a spy thriller almost, I guess you could say.
Almost with the first scene.
Yes, that first scene, we're going to be light on spoilers, but there was an action scene, a covert ops of sorts, and that was arguably one, well, it's hard to rate it because a lot of the action scenes were amazing. But it was a different feel than most Marvel movies have been. There was like a more covert thing.
It's a good
very impressive, very impressive.
Go for it.
Let's discuss, like, you know, why I liked, or you liked, or whoever saw the movie loved it, why Cap was such a hero in this movie.
Well, one of the writers mentioned it, they're trying to figure out what they're going to do for Captain America 3, because it's already been announced, they're going to do it, there's no name. You know, saying like, well, and in this movie, he's kind of frantic about it. He's still trying to get adjusted. I mean, there's parts where he meets people. He's trying to get back into the groove of things, and it's almost like he doesn't know what he wants to do.
Yes.
So, in that, he always wants to do the right thing, and that kind of makes him seem like he's just a valiant hero.
Yes, that is what I did really like about this one. The other one, he was like, you know, in Avengers, he was more of. He was the Boy Scout, and the only really scene we got when he's kind of had like conflicting ideals is when he like goes rogue in the Avengers. Not really rogue, but he looks through the ship and he finds the Hydra weapons, and he finds, spoilers, if you didn't see Avengers, everyone who's watching this probably already did.
Do you live under a rock, people?
Do you live under a rock? But the point is, in this one there was a lot more of that. You can watch the previews. We're not going to say anything you can't watch and learn from the previews, but, you know, there was different things, like when he says, like, this isn't freedom, this is fear. You know, that's a clip from the previews. The whole movie, I think that's the basis of this movie, showing, like, you know, how different Cap is in this world, because he grew up in the time when, you know, right was right and wrong was wrong.
Which is great, because a lot of people think of Captain America as a soldier that always follows orders.
Yeah.
But then you look at Civil War, where it's the exact opposite, where he wants to defend people's rights and their privacy and their freedom. And, you know, Iron Man goes the opposite direction in that.
It's a good comic book, too.
Read Civil War, it's really good.
Read it.
Another cool thing was the way they did Falcon, because I personally never understood, like in the comics, why he's always throwing feathers everywhere. Like, does he have like an unlimited amount?
That was actually hilarious. We were sitting there, the credits rolled, and like an image of Falcon came up, and he turns to me and goes, "You know what I really liked?" At the same time, I turned and was like, "You know what I really didn't like about this movie?" And we're like, "Oh, well, the crossroads begins." Yeah.
I liked it because, like, he doesn't throw metal feathers at people. He has guns, which is almost more realistic, because I'm not throwing parts of my flying wings at you, and then all of a sudden, oh, there's no wings left.
Yeah, I liked the character. I liked it. Looked good, but for some reason, like I guess like you said, it looked too real. Like I like having that like superhero element. And you watch the preview, you can see it looks a little more tactical gear. You know, a little more like flight friendly. Like you'd actually use it. And like that's just off the topic. Scarlet Witch's outfit, like they leaked it online, like a concept art of it or whatever, and she's in like street clothes, which makes sense if you look at her costume in comic books. She looks like a scantily clad woman of the night.
And that's gonna be so weird. Them doing Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in the Avengers.
Oh, he's there. Another video, buddy. Another video. One thing I loved about this movie, and it was probably my most favorite part, was just the way the Cap was. In Avengers, he kind of like fell to the wayside next to heroes, you know, like Hulk and like Thor, because they were like big powerhouses. And this, Cap was a tank. Like he was doing things like in Avengers, like you would never think.
He was like, I'm gonna hurt you. Block, and then go back at it.
It was ridiculous. He was a monster.
The fighting was great.
Oh my gosh, the action was so good. And it's like he had the shield. He was using the shield. It's like he was pounding through everything in sight. And he wasn't just using it, you know, like just throw. He was throwing it, and while the thing was being thrown, he'd like drop kick a guy. Oh, the Cap in this was just so much more than he was in the Avengers, and that was so appreciated. Like every superhero movie should have like a great superhero.
The shield does not make the captain.
No. Captain makes a shield.
Exactly.
Yes, I completely agree.
But overall, this was a really good movie. And if you haven't seen it, you need to see it.
Obviously. Why do you think we're doing this? We're not doing this because we're wasting an afternoon. Go see it. One thing I did like about the movie, though, on the concept of characters, Black Widow. Red hair, red, scarlet, pick your excuse.
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson, that one went right over my head. Point is, and like she was actually like I thought she was a lot better than this than the Avengers too. In the Avengers she was like, you know, she was doing her stuff. I thought she had more gadgets than this. She was more spy-like. She knew things.
She was more cocky almost.
She did have that kind of vibe.
I liked it.
It was hot. But yes, I did like it. She had a little more gadgets. She was using it. You know, she was like beating down guys a little better. It was very nice seeing like each character come to fruition.
Oh yeah.
Very, very nice touch.
Cool. And there was a lot of Easter eggs in that.
There were a lot of Easter eggs.
Yeah.
We're going into it?
Should we go into it?
Dive right in.
All right.
Pick one.
If you haven't seen it, this is a total spoiler for you unless you've already gone on YouTube and checked it out. But there are a few awesome Easter eggs. One of them was...
He's saying, if all you mentally challenged people who are wasting your minds on YouTube, go see it and then come back and finish it.
But wait for you. Right?
We're here. Crazy. All right, amazing.
All right, one of the ones that I really liked, that was easy to pick up, was they're interrogating the guy's like, we're setting this up so we can spy on threats, you know, Dr. Banner or Stephen Strange. And I was like, Stephen Strange? Stephen Strange. That's Doctor Strange. All of you true believers know who Strange is.
The best part about it is if, like, see, that's why we were talking about this in the movie and after. If they wanted to have, like, another Easter egg, they would have said something like Thor and the Hulk, you know?
Right.
Or any other established character. They picked Stephen Strange. There have been rumors of different, like, Marvel characters, like Stephen Strange getting their own movie.
Yeah, there's been some rumors about it.
I don't even think it's confirmed at this point, but I don't think they would put it in the movie with a specific name like that
I feel like
if they didn't want it, like, being an actual thing.
He'd be a good addition for Stage 3. After Age of Ultron, that would be kind of cool. He'd be a good addition. Or they'll have a setup movie and then come into it on Stage 3, which would be cool. Even though that's coming out in a year.
It's hard to see him getting his own movie, though. I mean, I'm assuming it will happen since they put it in the movie. I think they want him to have his own movie.
He fights a big enemy, isn't it? Dormammu?
Maybe. I don't know. Another reason. If it is, comment and let us know. But at the point, like I don't know, it's like I know who he is, but I've never seen him actually like battles enough to be able to say, okay, I'd go see him in movies.
I have seen the animated one.
I have not.
The animated one is good. He has an alright backstory. I don't know. He's one of those characters I'd like to see get a movie. Black Panther are two ones I'd love to see get a movie. But that'd be dope. Another cool one that was near the very end of the movie was on a headstone that was for Nicholas Fury because he faked his death. So like I said, the spoilers. But on it, it has a Bible verse from Ezekiel, which is the same verse he gave during Pulp Fiction, which is a great movie.
Single L.
And it's the one he shouted it while he shoots this dude. It's great. So that's one of the really cool ones.
There were a lot of minor characters in the movie that you wouldn't know. Like we know a lot about the comics and stuff, but I didn't pick up on their like names, if not their aliases.
Right.
One guy, he had like a 5-minute clip in the movie. He fought Cap. Cap obviously destroyed him.
He was throughout the movie.
But he wasn't like, no, he wasn't actually there. They like mentioned him a couple times, but he actually didn't like, he wasn't actually shown again, was he?
Oh, you mean that guy? Oh, yeah.
His like Bark the Leaper or something. He's like basically a gag character who doesn't really have a lot, but they for some reason they put his like name in there, and he kind of was jumping around kicking Cap, but I didn't think of it as anything more than just a random character they made up.
And they had Crossbones in it, not actually Crossbones, but the guy who is Crossbones, who's another villain in the Marvel Universe. So.
I thought his character was kind of cool because I didn't see him turning on Cap again. Watch the movie.
I saw.
But yeah, he turned. He was like Cap's bodyguard. Then he turned, and I didn't know who he was. I heard the name like around comics and animes and whatever for Crossbones, like the Marvel character. But I've never actually seen, you know, the actual character.
He's pretty intense. He's just a muscular dude with a white skull mask and the huge crossbones on his chest. The dude's a monster. Yeah.
And that's why I thought it was curious, because at the end of the movie, it showed a scene like I assumed he died, but it showed a scene at the very end when he was like hauled into on a gurney. Yeah, so I was like, if they want, they only put that if they wanted him back. Like if they wanted him dead, they wouldn't have even brought it up, but they wasted the time to show. So I'm assuming he's going to be like, you know, in a future movie, very vague reference, but it'll be there.
And the after credit scene.
Yes.
Was very enlightening.
There were a few other Easter eggs, but we'll just skip over some of them. You know, there's tons of them. I'm sure you could find thousands of them, a lot of little hints or whatever. But end credit scene. Sum it up. A scientist walks in. Who was it? It was
Baron von Strucker.
Baron von Strucker. He walks in. I missed the name when we watched the movie, but
the name wasn't mentioned. But it's
I thought he said Baron or something. Yeah, he had the monocle
and
he walks in and they're saying like, he had the scar. He says, you know, he's like, we're doing testing or whatever, and you turn and look at Loki's scepter from the Avengers movie
because it was lost.
Yeah, like you don't really think about what it goes on. Yeah. And Baron's like, yeah, we're doing tests, and he says, what should we do with the victims, the ones who didn't survive? And he says, bury them. And he says, what about the survivors? And you turned, and he's like, there's two of them, and it's two people in two different cells, and you can actually see. Yeah. One of them is zipping around the cell. It's Quicksilver. It's the guy who plays Quicksilver. The other one's like making like blocks levitate, and it's Scarlet Witch. You can tell, and he says like it's the age of miracles or whatever, and the twins will help.
That's gonna be cool. I'm very interested to see how they pull out. I don't know if they're gonna be heroes or gonna be villains, because in the comics they're both.
I know, but you know how I feel. That's just weird. But another crazy, interesting thing, which I saw online, I don't think it was like confirmed or anything, but you know how the Tesseract was like an Infinity Gem, talking about Thanos. Yeah. They talk about that was the Infinity Gem, and then the goo stuff from Thor 2, the ether stuff, that was an Infinity Gem. Yes. And they were talking about, because Loki's scepter controls people with minds, there's a mind gem. So they're thinking that scepter could be the physical representation of another Infinity Stone, which is why it's still hanging around in the movies. So I thought that was kind of a cool concept, because they're obviously using different objects to be the Infinity Stone.
And everyone knows Thanos is going to be like the end boss right now, because he was set up at the end of the Avengers.
Yes.
And it's one of those things, like the TV show Superhero Squad was talking about it forever, but the Infinity Gauntlet, and that's actually what Thanos does. He hunts for the gems in the Infinity Gauntlet. That's where he gets his extra destructive power, because he's so overpowered in the comics.
He killed like half the Avengers or whatever, like effortlessly in the comics, but
it's ridiculous. So he's going to be the end boss for it, and they're setting up all these little hints, and eventually it's all going to tie together, which is incredible. And I'd like to see like maybe Stephen Strange, if they do put him in a movie, or he's in it, have his own movie, maybe he'll have
he'll be like protecting one or something like that. That would not be a bad idea. On like well, they'd have to do that like with Thanos, but have like, you know, the Avengers basically hunting down the Infinity Stones when they realize Thanos is after them too. They run into Stephen Strange, who's protecting one, and they're like, oh, we need to, you know, make sure Thanos doesn't get it. Right. That'd be a long way movie.
It'd be cool. I'd like to see them put some more like not superstar heroes in like their own movies, or movies that they can stand on their own. Because we don't want another Hawkeye incident. No. Because he was just upstaged by all the superpowers in Scarlett Johansson's butt. He was super over.
I was okay with that.
Everyone was okay with it.
But yes, I don't want another small hero thing going. That's why I like Scarlet Witch so much. I mean, Scarlett Johansson, whatever, in this movie so much.
Yeah, but that wraps it up.
But yes. Subscribe to us. We're going to be getting a Twitter soon. Follow us on that. We're going to be liking. I'm only going to subscribe to basically Marvel and DC cast, crew, directors, everything, so we can get updated news.
We'll stay tuned. We'll watch IGN stuff. We'll cover everything.
Anything that we think is interesting to any kind of nerd-related news will be brought to you. We're going to be doing weekly videos, at least once a week, on the wrapping up news of that week, based on different things. We're going to have guest stars, basic props with every.
We'll have lists for your enjoyment. We'll do anything.
Top 5, anything. You want to see something specific, put in the comments, message us, do anything you can. We're going to have the Twitter, Facebook, this thing. This is just getting started. Ty Thor the Amazing. Owen. We're working on that name. But just follow us, stay tuned. It's going to be a great ride. We're just getting started. And that's all you need to know.